Ha! Idiot! Then you need Skankasporin. It'll cool that burning sensation before you do the walk of shame to the cab. That's Skankasporin Itch Paste.
Available in In-N-Out Party Stores, Bottles and Stuff, 8 Mile Liquor, and Cunningham Drugs.
Yeah. Mark Miles. Hey. First off, get the shit straight. 24/7, no sick days. Self-made, you looking bitch made. The way I kick it, y'all should call me sensei. Hopping everywhere, tell me where you been. I'm in and out of clubs I ain't never seen you in. Get it back to back, do it show to show. I got the baddest girl steady freaking on the low. I've been dope, I'm too lit. Exclusive, I've been on some new shit. Hating on my greatness, that's gonna make me famous. Reaching for the stars, up for grabs and I'ma take it. Sticking to the script when they test my patience. Knowing I'ma leave behind a legacy of greatness. On my grind, to the day that it's a wrap. I'm out here trying to put my city on the map. I was born to make it, I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
A whole new level, it's where I'm trying to take it. I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the I'm a legend in the making. I'm a legend in the I'm a legend in the making. Fuck boys couldn't hang with one of my verses. Soon as I step foot in the game, I seen them get nervous. On my job, as long as I'm breathing. Up against the odds, I'm trying to get even. I'm the realest on the scene, you should ask round. Talking hits now, I'm the one they ask about. I blow loud, sip, drink till I pass out. Swagged out, steady looking like I cashed out. I stay humble, bitch sit down. Before we stand up and shut this bitch down. Don't get me started, I don't fuck with y'all. If I made a list, there would be a bunch of y'all. They try to holler at me, I don't get involved. Cause I know on the low, they just wanna see me fall. They try to tell me this, they try to tell me that. I blew a couple stacks, I'm just trying to get them back. I was born to make it, I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
A whole new level, it's where I'm trying to take it. I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the I'm a legend in the making. I'm a legend in the I'm a legend in the making.
Beast mode, larger than life. The mad titan, call me Thanos or just power dice. The D gauntlet, I drop infinity gems. I made it to the stars, traveled past the outer rims. Deviant gene, I've been ill since the birth. Dance dimensions while you're dabbing stuck on planet Earth. In the galactic, tack the smack and ratchets. Mobile modals, get your lips and your career split. I give you space to live, it's room for everybody. You in my lane, better change, I murder everybody. Annihilation, I disperse in the verse. Bathe in your blood with Brian bodies, the universe. This is war, this is not a game. Feel the power strike, fit when it's dice in the name. Already a legend, and I stay winning. My moves to make, so you know this is just the beginning.
I was born to make it, I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
A whole new level, it's where I'm trying to take it. I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the making.
I'm a legend in the I'm a legend in the making. I'm a legend in the
The following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. It's Rikki rocks, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Rock Show, spreading like the pox. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah. Rikki rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
He's breaking it already.
I know. All right, here we go. Got it. All right, here we are, episode number 117 of the Rikki Rock Show right here on YouTube Live and Roxx100.com. I'm Rikki Roxx, joined as always by Kevin Eugenius, Filipino-ish, ultra orange-ish, Raz Logioni, PhD, CBD, TBD.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Awesome show we have today. We have CHAD VALYEAR from the Toronto band VALYEAR. We're going to be talking to him in the 8 o'clock hour. We have brand new, God, I keep forgetting the damn band name, Black Swan Dive Bomb. Okay. New band out of Detroit. Formed by Mr. Dakota Star. You might know him from New Day Revolution, my old band. And Dirty Whiskey, another one of my old bands. So he's got a new band.
I see a trend here.
Well, this is
Rikki
the thing.
was looking at joining another band. So.
Well, this is a thing. You know, I was talking to him, and I was, a couple months ago, I'm like, oh man, so who's in your band? So he's rattling off these guys, and he rattles off this drummer. I'm like, that name sounds familiar. I guess before I was in Dirty Whiskey, he was like the guitar player, bass player in Dirty Whiskey like 20 years ago or some shit like that. So I'm like, geez, every single band you're in, you have to have somebody from Dirty Whiskey in it. So he's like, oh, that's just kind of worked out. So that's super cool. And we're going to be playing their brand new track. It's going to be dropping on Spotify and all the streaming outlets tomorrow, but we're going to debut it here tonight. Their new song, Back for More, off their upcoming Light the Match, Ignite the Flame EP.
Catchy name.
Yeah, that they're going to be releasing on October 30th at the new Dodge Lounge in Hamtramck, Dead and Five, Fly Parade, Half-Life. And I think that's it. So it's going to be super cool. One of the few shows I still have to host.
Don't sound too enthusiastic.
I already told everybody out there I hate emceeing shows anymore, but asked me to do it. So I'm like, what am I to say no to a guy that dealt with me in 2 different bands? So I do it for him. So super cool.
Can't turn down those big bucks, Rikki.
Oh, yeah. I'm a fucking ATM, like a printing press of what do they call us in stock? Tendies.
Oh, Jesus. Tendies. Get them chicken tendies.
I'm printing off tendies here. So super cool. And we're going to get to that in a little bit. Like I said, we're going to be talking to CHAD VALYEAR in 8 o'clock hour. We have our nuts and bolts that we're going to get to in a minute. We have a beer of the week that's named after you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not jalapeno infused.
Fuck no. It's a Raz Peach.
Raz Peach.
R-A-Z. Raz Peach. So super cool. And what else we got to get to? We didn't do the nuts and bolts and harsh truths last week. I realized that after the show. We never did it. So luckily I didn't have to find a new question.
I mean,
today.
basically listening to this show is one long nuts and bolts if you think about it.
And what else? We have our Pump or Dumb band of the week. We're going to get into a band called Kill the Imposter out of Orlando, Florida. This is the band, I think, from Blue Ridge that the guy tattooed like his face and his eyes and all that.
Oh yeah, that was blocking my car.
Yeah, I think it's this band because they were playing Blue Ridge right around when we were playing, and I looked up the picture. I'm like, this guy. If anybody's gonna have tattooed eyes, it's gonna be this guy. So I think this is it. So it's gonna be very.
They were
heavy
fucking
metal.
good though. They were real good.
Yeah, very, very, very heavy metal. And before we get into the nuts and bolts, I need to throw out this stuff too, because I always forget, so I figured to do it at the top of the show. Check out our sponsor, IHatePeople.club. Vulgar clothing for the introvert and all of us. Use coupon code ROXX100, get 20% off your entire order. Also, check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/ROXX100. Got a lot of cool stuff on there. I don't know what the hell it is because I only look at it when I cash those checks and get those tendies. And what else we got going on? I forgot to do the top 20 this week because I'm fucking lazy, but I'll get to it eventually.
We do all of our homework on this show.
So yeah, I guess we can get into the nuts and bolts. Going into the chat. Is that Steph? I am a Steph. Is that her?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. She says, "What up?" I'm like, "I am a Steph." Is that what it is?
Yeah,
I'm a Steph.
I don't know.
Oh, it's a Steph. You don't know her YouTube username?
No.
Oh, man.
Because we usually use mine.
Oh, okay. Chris,
she doesn't really do the YouTube thing.
Oh, okay.
She's like Hulu and Peacock.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Chris Tucker's hanging out in the chat. Speaking of which, November 27th, mark this one on your calendar. We need a lot of people to show up because some people fucked this one up royally. trying to bring this one back from the dead. Kelly Tucker's Celebration of Life. Kissing Candace, Casting Shadows, Influence, Wisher, Reject the Silence, Crafted Conviction. That band dropped out. Special performances by Shudder and Stone Clover. $20 pre-sale.
And one more TBD.
Yeah, one more TBD.
At least.
At least. $20 pre-sale, but it turns out like $30 pre-sale after all the fees and everything. So just buy them at the door. They're $25. Doors at 6 p.m. Crowfoot Ballroom, Pontiac, Michigan.
So this is a different Steph.
Oh, okay. It's different stuff.
Hi, Steph.
I mean, my name's
Other
Steph, but probably not the one you think. Okay. Well, I didn't think it was Steph Razlog, so it could have been Steph Razlog. Because she never listens to this train wreck. All right, so we're getting into the nuts and bolts and harsh truths right here. This is the advice segment of the show where you can send us your questions, rox100radio@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/rox100, or get a hold of Razlog on Facebook. He's famous. Just look him up. He has a big star next to his name. That's how famous he is.
I don't have the fucking check mark, bro.
Oh, check mark. Yeah, whatever. You can hit me up as well. Any way you can get a hold of us if you have a question
You're
about
more of
anything.
a rock star than me. You have a burger named after your name.
It's still there.
I know.
Oddly enough. We'll get into that later. Nuts and bolts of our truth. This week comes from Ty out of Toronto, Ontario. He says, "Hi. I'm new to local bands, having only really followed bands I've heard on the radio. I guess my question is pretty lame, but I was curious as to how someone even gets started being in bands. When I was in school, there wasn't really that many kids who wanted to play guitar or be in a band. Everyone was into rap and EDM music." Kevin Razlog, how did you get into playing bands for the first time?
I mean, mine was kind of not a complete accident, but I moved back from college and I was working some bullshit job, and I literally like Googled like how to get in a band kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
I literally like Googled like need to find a band or some shit.
Yeah.
And like the very first website that came up was called bandmix.com.
Oh, God.
And like the first fucking band that showed up for Metro Detroit was Shudder. So I just sent them an email, and then like they responded the next day. So for me, it was really easy, and that's why I say it kind of just happened. I don't think anyone else would typically have it that easy. But...
I don't think anybody uses Bandmix anymore.
no shit. I think I got lucky there.
So after Shudder, how did you get into your,
every other band?
Yeah.
Well, that just kind of happened by playing.
And kind of just getting to know people and shit like that.
Networking, playing shows, that kind of thing. But if you've never been, I guess it would depend. Are you already a musician? And I guess like how technically sound are you? Or are you trying to like figure out how to go about like getting into a band? Then you're going to learn an instrument. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I did.
And look at his resume.
I know.
82 bands strong.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. See, this is a hard question for me to answer because it's so outdated how I got in my first band.
Shit, mine was. You're going back to like black and white television. With your
I'm going
career.
back to Guitar Center bulletin boards. Like they used to have them at Guitar Center, like band looking for this, and they have them pinned up by the bathrooms and shit.
Wanted ads.
Yeah, wanted, and it was like, are you
connections?
Yeah, are you interested in joining a band? You tear off a little tab and give them a call. So I literally
on your rotary phone.
Yes. Well, no, it was my little Nokia.
With the snake game, right?
The snake game. It was like green and darker green.
Yeah. I had the blue and silver.
Yeah, mine was just green and darker green because my parents were cheap as shit. And it was literally just like, hey, if you're a bass player and you're into Led Zeppelin and classic rock, hit me up. I'm like, okay, well, I know a lot of that. I've heard it before. And, I kind of know how to play some chords. And then I hit him up and it was like, yeah, we're looking to do some like early Danzig stuff. I'm like, wait, what? Okay, so you see, first you're like Led Zeppelin and like the Doors, and then it's like, okay, what we really want to do is like Danzig, Rancid.
Just like any normal job opportunity.
KMFDM.
You said this was entry level. Yeah, we need 10 years of experience.
Yeah. So it was like literally like, okay, this is even easier for me. These guys, I was like thinking I was going to have to learn like Stairway to Heaven and shit like this, like on the fly.
Right.
But it ended up being like 3-chord shit. So I'm like, oh, this was really easy to pick up. Picked it up and, off I went. Now, God, I don't know. Do people still use Craigslist? Is that still a thing? To get into bands?
Was still throwing up some Craigslist posts and shit.
Okay, so if you want to be in a band, hit up Craigslist. Yeah, I don't know. How people do it these days.
I would say like first of all, like depending on what instrument you play and like how technically sound you are, like And then from there, like, you got to look at what genre of music are you trying to play.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're trying to do metal, like, join, like, there's, like, the Michigan, like, musicians wanted page. I'm sure there's shit like that for, like, every fucking state. So,
Yeah.
a lot of it just depends what you want to do, how you want to go about it.
You know, it's like now with social media, you know, like you said, if you're technically proficient, take some video of yourself playing or something like that, schlep it up on Facebook and see what the hell happens.
Yep.
You know, guitar player looking for a band and play along to a song.
My
or something
advice,
like
if you're
that,
going
or-
to do that, is, like, if you're going to post up, like, a video, actually have it be good quality, because you're going to attract good quality candidates that way. If it's, like, some flip phone fucking 180i quality
SD, but the same thing. If you suck and it's high quality video,
So this is the thing.
it's still going to be a
If
thing.
you suck, don't post it and get better. I mean, that's just my advice.
Well,
Because you want to be around good musicians. Now, I'm not saying you have to be around, like, the fucking cream of the crop, but, like...
well, if you're getting into your first band or something like that, it could be overwhelming to be with a guy, you know, in a band with guys that have been doing it for 30 years and have been in 87 bands like me. You know, would I want to work with a guy who's never been in a band before? No, probably not. I wouldn't give the guy time of day. You know, if
I guess that's a good point.
No matter how great he is, if some, you know, kid's 17 years old and can fucking shred some Guns N' Roses, never been in a band already, I'm like, nope, sorry.
You're that asshole.
Yeah. I bet you would be too.
Maybe. Depends.
Okay. So it's a thing. So to Ty out in Toronto, if you're a guitar player, bass player, drummer, singer, whatever, I'm old, so I guess my biggest advice would be, you know, if you want to be in a band for the first time, put some video up,
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
and
like,
see what happens.
If I'm a drummer in your if you're a drummer, like, if I was in your situation, figure out, like, a band you kind of want to do something like fucking Wage War, Architects, fucking Milli Vanilli. It doesn't matter. Start doing covers of that, like, and then post that video, or not even the whole song. Do, like, fucking a verse and a chorus of it. Like, put together the best of your ability. Like, and if it sucks, practice a little bit more, and then go back and do the same thing and be like, hey, like, I'm looking to join a band. Here's what I'm into, and then see what you get.
It's a simple thing. If you don't get any hits off of it, get better.
Yeah.
You know, learn your craft more and try it again. You know, keep trying. Just keep getting better. Eventually, somebody will latch on and be like, hey, come out for an audition.
The dirty
or
whiskeys are all over the
There's
place.
dirty whiskeys everywhere. So Ty from Toronto, hopefully that answered your question. A shout out to everybody in the chat. There's people listening and all that and watching. Post something in the chat. Let me know you're hanging out, or if it's just...
Post an F in the chat.
Oh, don't do this again. So, Kev, what's been going on, man? What's new?
Steph and I went out.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we went and saw Wage War at St. Andrews.
Oh, I thought you actually went out for like a date or something like that.
Well, we went to the casino afterwards.
A Detroit casino?
Yeah, Greektown.
Oh, so you finally broke and went to a Detroit casino.
Fucking sucked.
Oh, man.
I mean, like, I had a few nice hits, but yeah, their selection, and oh man, it's gotten so much worse.
Yeah, Greektown?
Yeah, they sold it, so, like, they moved a bunch of shit around, and I'm sure with the pandemic they got rid of a bunch of shit. Mm-hmm. Just not the selection that I'm looking for.
How much did you lose?
I lost 200, but I mean, like, I had actually the first machine I sat on, I had like a $90 hit, like, within the first, like, couple minutes.
Yeah.
Most of it was like keeping the wife happy, giving her some more money.
Yeah.
So I was just like, whatever. But
how long did you guys play?
I'd say we were there for probably 2 hours ish.
Okay, so you're paying $100 an hour to
have fun with the wife.
Oh God, so expensive. So how's the Wage War thing, man?
Good. The first band, I think they were called Dragged Under, and coincidentally, Mike Kenway from In Ghosts was on tour with them as their photographer, and I saw him as we were leaving the venue after Wage War. I saw him, like, I was like, holy shit, is that Mike? And I'm like, Mike! And he fucking turned around and he was like, holy fuck. I'm like, you're in Michigan and you don't fucking call me, text me, or message me. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting that their first song was fucking terrible. I don't know if it was just the sound or they just weren't really hitting the notes. So there was a bar downstairs where all the merch was, which is what's the other room at St. Andrews?
The Shelter?
The Shelter.
Yeah.
Where I
We
played.
were literally just talking about the Shelter
and I
before the
blanked
show.
really hard. So we went down there.
Shout to Joe hanging out in the chat, Joe Petralia. What's up, bro?
We hung out down there, and then as soon as the first band got done, we made our way back up because Steph really wanted to try and get as close as we could to see Wage War. They fucking kicked ass. We saw them there at the same venue 2 years ago, actually. And then Beartooth was headlining. We had no interest in seeing Beartooth.
No?
Yeah, Steph was like, the singer looks too much like Dakota. I can't take him serious.
Does he really? Now I need to look.
Some pictures he definitely does because he does the bandana thing.
Yeah.
I know a couple of their tracks. I think they're okay, but they're not a band that I'm just like dying to fucking see. So I was just like, whatever. But yeah, you know, I'm going there again on Tuesday, so I got the VIP meet and greet.
This guy looks like Dakota.
Well, no, hold on. There's some other pictures where he definitely does.
He looks more like Adam Lambert.
I don't know. Some of like those kinds of pictures, he looks like a little heavier set Dakota. That one definitely doesn't. No, it's with the. You got to get the full like beard and mustache.
I'm like, geez, man, that's harsh. Yeah, I don't know who the hell this guy is. He looks more like a...
Like, that kind of definitely has, like, a Dakota-ish look.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. And we're going to be talking to Dakota Star on the show on October 17th for episode number 120. We're going to be playing his song, Back for More, from Black Swan's Dive... I'm never going to remember this name.
Swan Dive Black Bomb.
Like, I'm writing it out today. I'm like, Black Swan Dive. I'm like, Dark Bomb... Swan song. It's going to take a little bit. Black Swan Dive Bomb. So we're going to be listening to that in a little
It's
bit
like,
as
did
well.
he try to put together the like most difficult band name to say?
It's like 4 words, dude. That's a lot for a band name.
And every song's going to be the one word name.
So, okay. So you lost some money at the casino. You saw Wage War. Beartooth, no good. Didn't want to check that out. So took off.
Yep, pretty much.
So did you do the casino before or after?
After.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the casino before the show.
Lose track of time. Be like, oh shit, we missed
Well,
them.
dude, if you start winning and you're going on a run, like the show's just gonna take the back seat.
Well, the Kevin Razlog luck would usually dictate to go to the casino before, and then when you get there, be like, dude, babe, buy all the merch, get all the drinks. We can afford a DUI now.
Oh, Jesus. No, actually, what was surprising was a lot of the really good merch, like Wage Wars, was all sold out. Like the smaller sizes, all they had was like double and triple XLs.
Really?
Yeah, like all
That's usually the stuff that bands don't have is those.
I feel like Blue Ridge and Ink,
yeah.
all the skinny people and,
Yeah.
and drugged out people got
Yeah,
all
the meth heads and shit. Because usually I'll go see a band and I'll be like, okay, man, I need like a 2X or a 3X or something like that because I'm a fat dude and I like big shirts.
Right.
You know, I don't like them hugging the beer gut. You know, I like to hide it as much as I can. So they're like, oh, dude, the biggest size we have is XL. We don't really cater to fat fuckers. So I'm like, well,
that was Shutter's bread and butter.
Yeah, see, that's the
Double
thing.
the quadruple XL, baby.
bands get fucking cheap. I understand it because, you know, get those 2 and 3Xs. You're like, ooh, God.
Tiny,
those
we had to get a
cost-
6X shirt.
Yeah,
made
they
for
cost,
him.
they're expensive.
Yeah, it was a $60 shirt. I was like, what is this, Ed Hardy fucking tap out? It's just one fucking color, one logo. Yeah, it was like $60.
Yeah.
We love you, Tiny. It was like a fucking... They had to skin a whole cow to make that fucking shirt, dude. It was gigantic.
Oh, God. So, wow. So, yeah, my weekend was... It was okay. So, this is what happens. Okay, so... I don't know how I want to phrase this one. So, I had to go meet up with somebody, and they were going down to Simon's on Friday. And so, I hit her up. I'm like, hey, you know, what's going on down there? And, you know, I didn't hear nothing. So I had to do some Google sleuthing and shit like this to find out what's going on. I'm like, oh, great. It's a hip hop show. Not only a hip hop show.
So there was no communication?
Yeah. And it was a Juggalo show on top of this. So I'm like, oh, this is great. This is awesome. This is right up Rikki Roxx's alley. hashtag sarcasm.
Did you stop and get Faygo on the way?
Fuck no. Kevin would have taken it and be like, oh, this is the high grade pop here you brought.
Soda.
And so then I hit Kevin up and I'm like, yo, you going to be down there? You know, because I haven't talked to him in probably about a year. And last time I talked to him, he was planning on selling the place. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I figured he was on a Caribbean cruise somewhere.
Yeah, I didn't know if he had sold it or what's going on. I don't hear from him. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. You know, going to bed. Nothing going on today. So I go lay down in bed. I'm fucking around my phone watching TV. Pajamas on, teeth brushed. I am down for the night. Then he hits me up probably about 9:30, 9:45. He's like, yeah, bro, of course I'm here. I'm always here, bro. Got to make the tendies. You know, he didn't say that, but so I'm like, okay, fuck it. Threw clothes on. I'm like, babe, I'm going out. She's like, I thought you were in bed. I thought you were sleeping.
I was
like,
a power nap.
I'm like, all right, I'm going out. So drove down there, 45 minutes. Hadn't been to Simon's in like 2 fucking years. So I walk in. It looks exactly the same. Nothing has fucking changed there.
I was waiting for you to be like, oh my God.
No, it looks exactly.
The bathroom is so much better.
No, it's actually, they upped the price of drinks and shit there. So I was kind of like, oh, fucking Kevin.
Now he's only making 2,000%. Go figure.
You know, so it's like, I was hanging out with Kevin and shit like that. And of course, we stayed until like 3 a.m. And the person I went to go see was having a great time, you know, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah, have fun. Woo. Get to work kind of thing, you know. But hung out with Kevin.
You can't work when you have all that stress going on. And you need all that time away.
Yeah.
It's tough.
It's the fam, man.
That balance, bro.
So, yeah, hung out with
That's
Kevin.
a Vin Diesel quote. Do it for the family.
So I was hanging out with Kevin at Simon's. He's like, hey,
You guys play beer pong?
No, we didn't do any of that. We were talking about stocks.
Oh.
Because I'm like, hey, Kev, I'm kind of an older dude now. You know, I'm not partying as much anymore. I'm kind of tending to my portfolio, you know, so we're talking.
Diversify your bonds and
Yeah,
shit.
we're talking about portfolio shit.
Is he all into that?
Yeah, he's into stocks and shit like this. So I'm like, oh, bro, you got to get into options, man. So I'm running down options shit. I'm like, oh, dude, check this. Minimizing your risk, maximizing your profits, printing out tendies.
Well, considering he's like the ultimate Jew, that would probably be spot
Yeah,
down.
so he's like, oh, shit.
No offense to Jewish people, by the way. It's a
Jewish
running
people.
It's a running joke with him because he's a cheap fuck.
So it's like, I'm like, dude, 10 years ago, I would have never thought I'd be hanging out at Simon's talking about my stock portfolio.
How the times have changed.
So he's like, oh, Rikki, let's go outside and talk, get a bit more deep into these options plays. So I'm like, oh, dude, you gotta look into iron condors and call put spreads and all this.
Lord.
And he's like, oh, okay, well, can you explain them? And all these guys coming out of series be like, oh, dude, man, dope show. What? Woot, woot. You know, and all this. And
Hold on, we're talking about stocks, bitches.
I'm like, hold on, let me get through my Facebook stock, tendy win that I had today. You know, I'm like, bro, did you make 20% off your investments today? No? Go smoke your reefer, you know.
Fucking dopers.
So, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Then I came home and went to bed. We were supposed to go to, me and the fam were supposed to go to a wedding yesterday. That fell through because Nicole's dad didn't want to go. And we're like, well, if we go, it was all the way out in Indiana. So it was about where, Angola, Indiana, right by where we played at the Eclectic Room.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours.
2.5, 3. So Nicole's like, well, if my dad's not going, I'm not going, and my brother's not going, I'm not going to know anybody there. You know, people there, you know, a couple people, you know, we saw at our wedding, which was fucking a decade ago, but she's like, we don't really need to go. So I'm like, okay, cool. So take all my clothes back off, jump back into bed. I'm like, fuck this noise. Because I was up at like 8:30 in the morning after being out until 3:30. So then she's like, well, okay, let's go do family shit. So we went and did apple orchard shit like that.
Yeah, Steph and I were talking about doing that. Funny thing, so when we got back from the casino and shit, I saw one of the junkyards got a Sabin that had a bunch of good parts on it. And she was like, oh, well, let's wake up early and I'll go with you. I'm like, okay.
Second pair of hands.
Right. I was like, that's cool. And plus, you know, we could take the Santa Cruz and I can
put her to work.
Yeah, you know.
Put her to work.
Wake up, it's fucking raining.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to the junkyard in the fucking rain, dude. It'll be all muddy and shit. So, yeah. Decided to be a fucking bum all day Saturday. It was glorious.
Yeah, Saturday it was like, at least up here, it was fucking beautiful on Saturday.
Yeah, it rained most of the day.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, up in the greater Romeo area, it was like fucking beautiful.
Well, yeah, but Steph did mention, well, you saw she already has all the Halloween shit up.
Yeah, she had it up a month ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a week after her birthday. She basically did it. But yeah, she's like, I want to go like pick apples and shit. I'm like, okay, there's plenty of that around here.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to have to talk to you about this. There's some orchards you stay away from, some that are really fucking cool. So we're going to talk about that.
We'll discuss that off there. I don't think the listeners give two fucks about apples.
Yeah. So,
how you like these apples?
The number dipped like crazy. Okay.
As soon as I fucking talk about apples.
So what do we want to do? Do we want to get into the Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week? We want to do this and
Sure.
then we'll come back. Okay. So this week.
Unless you want to play 2 tracks, considering, we're supposed to play music and stuff.
Well, I told Dakota I was going to play the new Black Swan Dive.
You should
Bomb.
troll him and play it like now and be like, oh, bro, you missed it. You got to tune into the replay.
I told him it was going to be around 8-ish. So we got a little, so I figured we'd do it after the beer of the week and shit like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So this week's Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week is a band called Kill the Imposter, like I talked about at the top of the show, from Orlando, Florida. If you're into New York hardcore, groove metal, the Acacia Strain, and the Convalescence, you might dig this band. They're on tour with the Convalescence actually right now. They have a EP out they released last year called A Strain of Agony EP. Anywhere you can stream music, check it out. We're going to play their song Dongan Hills. You can check them out, facebook.com/killtheimposter or KTI Violence at .bigcartel.com. Info on these guys, pulling musical inspiration from literally everywhere. This 5-piece band's intention is to make you move in any capacity you see fit. The heavier and more aggressive, the better. Danny, one of the founding members of Kill the Imposter, Chris are the primary music writers. They have help with arrangement by Johnny Nobody on vocals, as well as Nick Colvin on drums, carrying the aggressive speed and heavy grooves, and Wilson Bembry on bass, who shares and blends the thundering lows and technical playing within all of their music. Last week, we had Zeros with an X from Springfield, Missouri, in their song Clones. Only 7 votes, so yeah. So we're going to play a music video by these guys. If you like it, head on over to facebook.com/Roxx100. Find the Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week post. Give it a big thumbs up if you dig it. Give it oh, you lost it. You're usually there. There it is. If you don't like it. So super cool. We're going to play this, and then we'll come back. Hopefully, the chat picks up because people are listening, and there's 5
They didn't even
damn
post a fucking F in the chat when I asked you bastards.
Fucking nothing. You guys are killing me in there. It makes me feel better when the chat's fucking going nuts.
Yeah.
Or at least they'd be like, hey, how you doing?
It's the same thing when you're performing, whether there's 5 people or 50 people. If those 5 people are like circle pitting and shit, it makes you feel good.
Yeah, so if you chat, that's the equivalent of circle pitting or the wall of death.
Valyier's here.
Well, he's here. We're going to be talking to him about 45 minutes.
He's like, man, these guys are a fucking joke. I'm just going to fucking do it.
All right, so we're going to play some Kill the Imposter. This week's Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week. We're going to come back, Beer of the Week, right after this. Episode number 117 of The Rikki Roxx Show, right here on YouTube Live and Roxx100.com. And we're back.
You and that echo.
There it is. Oh, I want to do the echo. And we're back. All right, that was Kill the Imposter out of Orlando, Florida, and their song Dongan Hills. Facebook.com/Kill the Imposter or KTIViolence.BigCartel.com. Head on over Facebook.com/Roxx100. Give it a big thumbs up if you dug it, and make sure you give us a like too, or hit
smash that subscribe button.
And smash that subscribe button. We are at 90. We're at 90 subscribers now. 10 more until it's not that ridiculous.
We're on Mike Madonna, dude. We got to get off that.
One more, and we're at Sergey Fedorov. And
I think Stephen Weiss was also 90, and we all know how that went.
Get us 91, and we'll sell out just like Sergey Fedorov. Okay, enough hockey talk.
Killed the numbers again.
Yeah, I know we did. Jesus. Chad says Joe P is the bass player. All right, so cool. We got
bass players up in here.
Up in her. Making the tendies. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to get into one of my favorite segments. Last week, not so good. Kevin brought that piece of swill in last week. That jalapeno. Did you drink those?
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I got some tacos from the taco truck down the road. Oh, man, it was beautiful.
That was at Exalpa. I gave it a 2. You gave it a 9. This week, hopefully we do a little bit better because Ricky Roxx was in charge of this one. And this week, I feel like I got a burp. I brought out the Jack and Coke again today. So this week for Beer of the Week.
Still not working, huh?
Still not working. We have a beer from Brewery Vivant out of Grand Rapids, Michigan, and their unapologetic fruit, the Raz Peach. I got this because of Kevin Razlog. I saw it and I'm like, I can't say no to this, even though I know Kevin hates sours and this type of beer. So I was like, it has his name, so maybe we'll get a nice vote of confidence to this one. This is a 5.0% ABV, 0 IBUs. This is a raspberry peach sour. This was a little bit more on the expensive side. I spent $17.99 for 4 1-pint cans.
Money bags. You were door dashing, weren't you?
No, it's the tendies I'm making on my portfolio. B&B Beer and Wine in Chesterfield, Michigan. If you're ever in the Chesterfield area, it's right.
Rikki single-handedly keeps them in business.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like it was
$20 4-packs. Hell yeah.
Well, it was like the same person working. Like I went and got some Jack Daniels for myself yesterday. It was the same person working, and then I come today. I'm like for beer, and she's like, "Wow, thanks." I'm like,
"You're partying hard, aren't you?"
Fuck yeah.
Still living that Blue Ridge life.
I'm a big major rock star now. I played Blue Ridge in front of thousands of people. So yeah, B&B Beer and Wine right up here on 23 Mile in Chesterfield. Just a hop, skip, and a jump away from Diesel, Detroit's premier independent concert venue. Quick description on this beverage. Raz Peach will delight you with a round, full flavor of sweet peaches and slight burst of acidity. Our house sour ale blended with fresh farmhouse ale and an unapologetic amount of raspberries and peaches. Kevin Razlog, what are you thinking?
Dude, I really like it.
What?
Yeah, no, it's like the perfect blend. Like I said, when I was pouring it, I was like, oh man, this like kind of almost looks like champagne-ish-y. It's got like a good amount of tartness to it, but like I don't get that like I don't know how to describe it, but normally when I drink beers like this, I get that like
I see floaties,
that like grenadine kind of feeling, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be instant heartburn. This doesn't have that. This is really good. I like it a lot. It's really good. It's got my name on it, so it can't be bad.
Okay. Rating from the can, our Unapologetic Fruit series is about making craft beer that is stuffed full of big, ripe fruit. We add all of that fruit to a fresh farmhouse ale. We make the fruit pop even more by blending in sour ale.
Like, you can really taste all the different fruit in it. Like, really, really good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. Like, a lot. It's really fucking good.
Scale 1 to 10. Kevin Razlog.
Man, this is definitely better than the one last week. I'm going to go 9. Ooh. 9 point.
Hold on. All right. I just want to see what you did.
4 or 5.
9.45. We'll do it. Fuck it. 9.4. You want to add any more numbers on this? 9.455.
3-1 and then the bar. No, I'm just kidding.
3.1415. Just put.
Well, no, the bar where it means it's a repeater.
Yeah.
And it keeps going in.
Okay.
You didn't take that class in school.
No, I failed every math class.
You
like
dropped
4
out.
times. Yeah, I dropped out. Yeah, you definitely get, the peach taste. It's not very, peach taste in itself isn't a very acidic taste. So you get that, kind of taste, but the raspberry in it, you'll get, kind of more of that more tart fruit flavor from the raspberry, and blending that with the peach, is a really good taste profile. And, anything that's, farmhouse ales by themselves anyway are pretty mellow, and they usually have a lot of taste in them, so blending the peach and the raspberry with your farmhouse ale, farmhouse, like I said, farmhouse ales are innately, fruity by themselves. So yeah, you're getting a lot of that fruit taste in this one. You don't get, there's been a couple, I think the last time we had one of these sours, you kind of had that kind of champagne-y kind of effect where it kind of like, if you drink it too fast, your eyes will start to water kind of thing, where it's like
super carbonated.
Yeah, that carbonated champagne.
This doesn't really seem to have it. It looked like it when I was pouring it at first, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
I guess we'll see how this goes.
It doesn't. It kind of has the texture and mouthfeel of a champagne, but it doesn't have that. Like you said, that carbonated kind of thing that champagne will have. But you definitely do kind of get that. What do you call it? That.
Excellent mouthfeel.
Well, like the mouthfeel, it's you get that kind of champagne mouthfeel. It's not like really thick where it's going to stick to your mouth and you're going to have like cotton mouth like a bitch. It's
like a bitch.
It's a nice, smooth, very fruity, drink. Does it taste like a beer? No, it doesn't taste like a beer. It's, it kind of errs on the side of a mead as far as taste profile goes, but you're not packing on the ABVs like the meads are, which are typically 12, 13, 14 and up for meads. This is a 5. So if you like meads but don't want to get freaking tanked, yeah, give this one a shot. This will be right up your alley.
I gotta drive. Give me them peaches.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those, I guess summer beers.
Yeah,
like, kind of thing where,
chilling on the beach, going disc golfing, regular golfing.
This is just kind of like an outdoorsy kind of like a summer thing.
If you're like Rikki myself, that means mowing the yard. Busting one of these bitches out.
Summer and all that, you don't want your big thick shit because it's
like an Irish car bomb.
Yeah, you don't want that shit in fucking August. This is a nice, a tasty drink. I don't know if I want to call it a beer, but because I said it kind of errs on the side more of a mead than a beer.
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Ding, 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 ding.
8.75 on this one.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely a good one. The only reason I dox it some points is because it doesn't have that taste of a beer, and this is beer of the week. It tastes
it's
more.
Not mead of the week.
Yeah, it's not. It's not ultra douchey beverage of the week. But if you had some IBUs packed into this, some hops or something in this, I might up it a little bit. Don't go too overboard with the hops, but if there's a little bit of a hop thing going on, I could see this being a 9.25. But as it stands right now, yeah, 8.75. Yeah, for $17.99, if you have a couple extra bucks and you can find it, definitely pick it up. You're not gonna get tanked off it, but it's a good tasting beverage.
Oh yeah,
super cool.
You heard it here first, folks.
I'm a Steph. Hop, skip, and a dump away is going into my regular vernacular.
We need to have that catch on. Like, could you imagine?
I need a t-shirt.
You go out to eat somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, it's a hop, skip, and a dump away." You're like, "My steak is what now?"
Taco Bell. It's a hop, skip, and a dump away. Okay, so I think we're gonna do this. I don't know how I wanna how I want to do the. Do we want to do the Black Swan dive bomb thing? Get this going now?
Why don't we do that and then another track? By
Okay.
the way, I'm stealing one of these for Steph. She said, "Oh my god, I want one."
Jesus Christ. So yeah, we're gonna. Do you want to do? Because my original plan was to do a 2 of Dakota. Do you want to just do one and just do the Black Swan?
Do 2 for Dakota. I don't care. You're the man with the buttons. Fucking push
Okay.
them.
So this is what we're gonna do. We are going
It's
to.
only a hop, skip, and a dump away.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a 2 here. I'm going to play New Day Revolution. You know, I recorded on this album. You know, Who's Your God? It was a big single.
Recorded.
I played bass on it.
I know. I'm
and
kidding.
then we were going to follow that up with Dakota Star's brand new band, Black Swan Dive Bomb, and their brand new single, Back for More. Head on over to Spotify, pre-save it, look it up, do whatever you do on Spotify, and add
You
it
can
in.
tell we're all on top of that shit. Do whatever it is you do on that thing.
We're all in. So, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play.
Smash all the buttons. Don't just like it. Smash them all.
So we're going to play New Day Revolution. This is Dakota Star when he is more in a hard rock metal band. And then we're going to play Black Swan Dive Bomb, their new track, Back for More. He went more punk, classic 70s punk rock with this one. So we're going to play both of these. And then we'll come back for a hop, skip, and a dump. And... and talk for a minute, then we'll play some Valier and talk with Chad. Sound like a plan?
Fuck yeah.
All right, so now we're going to play the music and all that shit. So here it is. Who's Your God? New Day Revolution. Black Swan Dive Bomb. Back for More. We'll be right back right after this, episode number 117 of The Rikki Rock Show, right here on Roxx 100.com.
Stay Hey, this is Ricky Roxx, and you are listening to Roxx100.com.
You're selling me out, land breaking me down. There is no cure for your disease. Toss me out like a piece of meat. Drain my brain and you're smiling. There is no cure for your disease. Your disease. What are you hoping? Hear the sound. Battle drums. What are you hoping? Ring the bell. Another round. Knocked down, left for dead on the side of the road, living with regret. I'm broke, bruised, battered and scarred. Broken, bruised, but I'm back for more. Pretending that you're just like me. Take pleasure in suffering. Look on your face says everything. Knives on sound of a flame. Slowly watching people bleed. Look on your face says everything. Everything. What are you hoping? Hear the sound. Battle drums. What are you hoping? Ring the bell. Another round. Knocked down, left for dead on the side of the road, living with regret. I'm broke, bruised, battered and scarred. Broken, bruised, but I'm back for more. Been knocked down, beat down, knocked down, beat, and I'm back for more. Been knocked down, beat down, knocked down, beat, and I'm back for more. Knocked down, left for dead on the side of the road, living with regret. I'm broke, bruised, battered and scarred. Broken, bruised, and I'm back for more. Been knocked down, left for dead on the side of the road, living with regret. I'm broke, bruised, battered and scarred. Broken, bruised, and I'm back for more. Back for more. Back for more. Back for more.
And we're back. There it is.
World exclusive.
World exclusive. I got to get that echo out of there. All right. So there it is. Black Swan Dive Bomb and their song Back for More, the new project, Coda Star. New Day Revolution. We played before that. You had me on bass with the New Day Revolution thing.
Gotta throw that out there.
Of course, I got to throw it out there. It's
Shameless plug.
It's one of the 5 million bands I've been in. And so, Raz, what do you think, man? You've known Dakota for a long time, probably about exactly as long as you've known me.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? The new direction, Dirty Whiskey was the party rock band. We were all drinking, getting fucking crazy, and couldn't play a goddamn show to save our life.
That was part of the allure.
That was part of the allure of that band. At New Day Revolution, you got a little bit more political and shit like that, a little bit more heavy metal, a little bit, heavier than the Dirty Whiskey thing. And that train wreck blew apart. And, right after New Day Revolution, I was talking to Dakota, and he's like, yeah, I literally took like 2 weeks off and I started putting a new band together after New Day fell apart. And, now you have Black Swan Dive Bomb. Did I get that right? Black Swan Dive Bomb. Yep, there it is. Black Swan Dive Bomb. I got it right. And
the four words are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts, man? Totally different direction, going not metal. It's punk rock.
Yeah, no, it sounds really good. Like the overall production quality is solid. Like, I don't know. I could like almost picture it being like in the background music of like a commercial or like a movie, right?
Yeah.
Like if there's a fight scene in a bar.
Yeah, he's
Like-
back. They're back for more.
No, it's really well done. I'm impressed. I thought it was really good.
And supposedly, I don't know if I'm supposed to let this one out, but supposedly in the next couple of weeks, they're going to have a music video to accompany that song. So that's from what he told me, it's done. The shooting is all done. They're just editing it all together and shit like that. So there's going to be a music video for Back for More coming out. I think he said the 13th. Hopefully they're going to have it out of October.
My wedding anniversary.
So happy anniversary, Kev. You get a new Black Swan dive bomb.
There we go. I'm sure Steph will be elated.
I'm sure she will. She loves every music video that Dakota's been in. And like I said, we're going to be talking Dakota Star from Black
Especially
Swan.
Devil's Dance Floor.
Okay. So we're talking Dakota Star from Black Swan Dive Bomb on October 17th. And October 30th, they're going to be releasing their EP. It's called Light the Match, Ignite the Flame. October 30th, it's at the New Dodge Lounge in Hamtramck, Den 5, Fly Parade, and Half-Life. And it's going to be their first show ever, releasing a CD that day. 18 and up, $10 at the door. I'll be hosting that one, and that'll be the first show that I'm back emceeing shows.
Back in the saddle again.
No. So super cool.
Cue Aerosmith.
Okay. Okay. So let's see what other stuff I have to get down before I play a music video, because I know YouTube doesn't like me playing too much crap back to back to back, so I have to throw in some talking.
Algorithms.
It's algorithms, and they could just easily kick me off for playing too much music. They don't like the
Oh, we
DJ
lived in
thing.
America, people.
Yeah, well, copyrights are a thing. Upcoming shows for Roxx 100. There's actually quite a few. I'm not hosting or doing anything with these. I'm just kind of sponsoring them and helping promote them. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, October 2nd at the Bacchus Social Club in Marlette, Michigan, the Bacchus Backwoods Birthday Bash is going on. Yeah, Spiral Crush. Levi Moore, I'm really liking Levi Moore lately. Awesome artist out of Detroit. Possum Belly, Fallen Stronger, Forge the Sun, M102, Manic Impulse, Holland Ellis, Origami Phase. This is BYOB Camping, Barbecue, Bonfire, and Bloody Mary Sunday Breakfast the day after. $20, you get all this stuff. So super cool. Putting that one, helping promote that one for Keith Token and Andy from Dragsaw.
Is Fallen Stronger still going to play? Because
supposedly
he was in a pretty bad car accident.
Supposedly he's playing. He's a singer. He can sit down. So
he looked pretty beat up though.
Yeah, supposedly from what I heard, he's going to still do all the shows. He might just have to sit down. He might not be able to muscle around.
Dude's fucking jacked.
Yeah, maybe not so much flexing, but he'll be there. And then another show we're doing, sponsoring Roxx 100, October 22nd at Diesel in Chesterfield, right here down the street from our studio. The Nightmare Before Halloween Fest 2021, featuring an appearance by Ari Lehman. You might know him as the original Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th. He'll be making an appearance. Grave Robber.
I literally thought you were going to say Jason Kane.
The original Jason Kane. Grave Robber, Show Me God, Havoc and Harmony, Venom of Virtue, Red Brick Road, Stomp Box, and All Things will be playing. Doors are at $6.15 advance, $20 at the door. $30 meet and greet with Ari Lehman. That includes one autograph and selfie, or they have $100 VIP reserve tables for 4 people, so $25 a person. Another one we're doing October 23rd back at Diesel. If you're into that old school 80s rock and roll, Wild Street coming in. They're a touring band. They're coming in Diesel with Native Sons and Prowess, along with Most Wanted, Saturnine Hello. They played one of my birthday shows a couple of years ago. Forge the Sun and Accelerate, doors at $6.15 advance, $20 at the door. And of course, October 30th, I'm going to be hosting this one. I already talked about it, the Black Swan Dive Bomb CD release with Den 5 Fly Parade, Half-Life, and of course, the debut of Black Swan Dive Bomb. And then last on the docket so far, I'm going to be hosting this one, a big show if you're in Metro Detroit, at the Crowfoot Ballroom in Pontiac, the Kelly Tucker Celebration of Life, a friend of ours who passed away a couple years back because of fentanyl thing. Kissing Cancer is going to be on that. Casting Shadows, Influence, Wisher, Rejected Science, Crafted Convictions, and Special performance by Shudder and Stone Clover. $20 pre-sale, $25 at the door.
Nice cover.
Doors at 6 p.m. Got a lot of
We As Many are on the bill.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Officially.
Oh, shit. So cool.
Breaking news. Ding, 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 ding,
So
ding.
for We Are Many is going to be filling the spot left open by a band that pulled off again. So super cool. So what's going on in the chat? Nothing. Scott Mahalo came in. Scott Mahalo's Affordable Art. I don't know if he's still doing the art thing, but he was one of our very first sponsors right here on Roxx 100. So head on over, give Scott Mahalo a like, and check out his
and
affordable
buy some
art.
Stuff.
And check out his affordable art. If some of you guys buy his affordable art, maybe he'll sponsor us again.
There you go.
I need money. I'm broke.
We all need money.
I ain't got a job. My tendies ain't printing. Okay.
Fucking EVs, man.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to get into, let's go here, music videos. Okay, so we're going to get into some Valyear here. We're going to be talking to Chad in a few. We have the video for Beneath the Machine. They just sent this to me over email a couple hours ago. So I haven't even checked this out yet. I'm just like, okay, fucking rip it, and we're going to fucking play it. We're going to do it live. So we're going to play this, and then I think, let me go over to Zoom and see if he is waiting there.
Scott said, yes, I'm still doing art. I need money, been in some trouble lately, LOL.
Yeah, we won't get into that.
We all are.
I saw it. I don't see Chad in the Zoom meeting, so hopefully he gets on that thing.
Well, he said he's been in the chat, so.
Okay, well... Oh, okay, there
I'm
he
sure
is.
he's listening.
Okay, there he is. Now it just said enter the waiting room. Okay, so we're going to play some Valyear Beneath the Machine, and then we're going to get Chad Valyear in here. So here it is, Beneath the Machine, Valyear. We'll be right back. Episode 117 of the Rikki Rock Show, Roxx 100.com. If it plays. All right, we're back for a second. For some reason, that didn't work. It worked when I tested it.
Oh, Rikki.
Let's try this again. No, it didn't work. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to pull something different in here. I tested this out right before the show, and it worked perfectly. Luckily, I have something else in here, so we're going to try that.
Plan B.
I do have a plan B.
Wow, look at that. That's why Rikki devotes so much time to this show.
All right, so I want
to go live in 20 minutes.
It sucks. I literally tested it before we got here. And it worked splendidly, and now not so much. So we're going to try this and see if we can get the lyric video for Like a Zombie to work. Give it a shot.
All of our Canadian band friends don't think this is how it is.
Face down.
are back. Here we are. That was Like a Zombie. We got that one working from the band Valyear. I am going to, let's see if we can get this to work, because Zoom sometimes gives us issues. He says joining. Oh, do we got him? Oh, there he is. Chad, what's going on, buddy? You there? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Is he on mute?
No, I don't know what's going on. You there?
I see his mouth moving.
I see mouth moving. Connecting to audio and can't hear you yet. Okay, well, let me go around here. This is awesome.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Zoom sometimes just the audio doesn't work.
Let's try this. Now can you hear me? This is wonderful radio, guys. We might have to, let's try this. Hear me now? God damn. Okay, maybe we might just have to call him. I'm going through everything. This is wonderful. This is awful. I'm trying, bro.
Well, Scott said he might have to unmute on his end, but if he can hear us, I'm assuming he probably hit unmute.
Yeah.
Because we can't hear anything on his side of it.
This is wonderful. We'll get it. Worst case scenario, he might have to call in. 313-829-0545, and we'll just do that. Select a microphone. Okay, so that's let's try this. Oh, he's not even on there anymore, so. This is great. Hopefully we'll get Chad Valyear. Hopefully he'll pop in. Zoom does that. So try connecting again, Chad. Worst case scenario, you might have to call in. I fucking hate technology, dude. This is some fucking bullshit. Okay, what's Scott Mahal say? Or you might have to turn on the mic in his options.
Well, yeah, we couldn't hear him at all, so
Could he hear us?
I have no idea. It kind of looked like he did, because it looked like he was laughing for a second there.
Or he's just listening on his phone. In my microphone is that? My speakers is that? Hey, Chad, if you're there, try Zoom again. This is horrible. Let's see if he hit me up on Facebook. God, this is rough. Geek.
Wouldn't be a Roxx 100 show without some difficulties.
I know, this is some bullshit. Let me hit him up. Try Zoom again or call 313-829-0545.
Tell him to make sure like nothing's muted on his end.
Okay, we're gonna try him over here again. Chad.
If you can hear us, give us a thumbs up.
Okay, he said something, he can hear me.
Okay, so he gave us a thumbs up. Are you muted on your end by any chance? Oh, there we go.
Did we get it?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, we got it.
Okay, there we go. What's happening, guys? Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good, man.
I'm sitting here just clicking everything. All right, so how you doing, bro?
I'm doing great, man. You guys are killing me here. Like, I'm dying, like laughing. Just you guys are hilarious.
We have a tendency to do that. That's why our numbers are always so low.
Yeah.
We kill a lot of people.
Right.
Numbers don't mean shit, brother. Trust me.
Our wallets don't agree, but I
wallet
appreciate the
doesn't agree
sentiment.
with that, yeah. So what's going on, dude? We all got turned on to you here at Roxx 100 because you were one of our Pump It or Dump bands of the week back in late August, and you guys freaking killed it. You know, you guys were out there promoting the Pump It or Dump It thing, and then I hit you up, see if you wanted to come on and talk about the band, and you were right away. It's super cool, and you know,
An artist that cares.
yeah, you actually
I just love talking about my music. So when you guys asked, I was like, Absolutely.
right?
You would think most musicians do, but you'd be surprised.
You'd be surprised how many people don't want to talk about themselves.
Yeah, well, you don't have to worry about that with me.
So tell us about, what's going on right now, because from what I've heard from a lot of people that are up in Canada, that it's still pretty hardcore lockdown out there and hard to get anything going. What's going on? Can you give us like an update?
For a while, it was at half capacity anywhere you played, and then right away when the lockdown, now it's vaxxed or you don't get in, right? So now, if you're not vaccinated, you can't get into a club to play it. So you know what I mean? So it's and then when they put the mandate down, they didn't give anybody really any time to fix it because you have to space out your vaccines, right?
Right.
So it was like, I personally didn't want to do it, right? For my own reasons. It's a long story. I don't need to get into the politics of it and all the conspiracy theories and all that shit. But
I had to do that too. I had to get into my reasonings.
I just didn't really, I just figured it was too early and I wanted somebody else to take the beats, and feel it out and I'll do it when I'm feeling comfortable with it, right? I knew it was inevitable, but I just, I wanted to do it when I felt like I was ready, and then they put the mandate down, right? But, now, you have to get it and you have to wait 4 weeks and you have to wait 2 weeks. So it kind of put a damper on playing a show anytime before that. So we got a couple things booked coming up afterwards, but it is really hardcore out here, and it's becoming very aggressive, and it's the division right now between vaxxed and unvaxxed and believers and non-believers and conspiracy. It's insane, and it's just getting crazier out here.
So it's the same exact thing as it is here in the States. People going freaking nuts on both sides.
Yeah, like people just don't want to live and let live. They just want to fight about everything.
Right.
So, and just to not go on the current events thing for too much longer, I know Australia seems to be pretty crazy right now. And are you guys on that level as far as tons of people protesting, or is it? Oh no,
It's happening. There's especially in Toronto, and I'm about 45 minutes from Toronto. Right, I'm in a little town. Well, not a little city, but it's a little city called Oshawa, right? And
Oshawa Generals.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, there it is.
So
we're big hockey guys.
Toronto, there's rallies all the time.
Okay.
So and rightly so, right?
Hell yeah!
Stand up. That's what this whole thing's about, right? The revolution. Something's got to give.
So are the venues out there I might have missed it because I have a feeling you already said this, but hey, you got to be vaxxed or show the negative thing. Is that every?
Is it even the shithole dive bars too, or?
Yeah, because they'll get shut down.
Oh
right?
damn.
Yeah, it's to that point. Bylaw officers are coming in to enforce it, right? So
Wow.
and it's the one bar we play often. We play a club out here called the Atria. And it's almost like home to us because we played there so much. And the owner is one of our close friends. And I've seen a post from their website just saying, please don't be angry with the people that work here. We have no control over this.
Right.
And the truth is nobody has any control over it,
Right.
as much as they want to make us think we do, So,
Wow.
yeah, it's insane. And it's, it's fucking scary.
Yeah, here it's starting in actually about a week or so. It's only going to be pretty much the big AEG and Live Nation bigger venues that are going to mandate that COVID vaccine or the negative result, and all the little mom and pop shops are yeah, fuck that noise.
Well, I mean,
we're already struggling for money. Last thing we want to do is piss off
right.
half the population.
Yeah, those little places, if you're under the radar, I imagine people are going to try to push it, especially if they don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is here you can't even go into a restaurant. I can't go to my gym. I'm big on routine, right? I need routine.
Yeah.
And the gym right now for me, I get up every morning and go to the gym 6 days a week, right? And I can't even go to the gym because I haven't had my second vax yet, and I won't have it till the 8th.
Yeah.
Right. I can't even go to the gym.
Jeez.
See, the thing that pissed me off about this whole thing was that you could go into Walmart, Kroger, whatever, with thousands of fucking people, and that was totally fine. But we want to go to fucking Simon's or any show, and it's oh, you got to prove this.
Well, is any of this really making sense to anybody?
Well, and that's my whole thing, is that it just, a lot of things don't make a lot of sense with it. But I don't want to go into that diatribe of going down that rabbit hole.
Because people will just like argue, and social justice warriors just love to fucking flip out and talk you in a circle and shame you for your beliefs if it's different than theirs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And,
for sure.
And that's the whole thing about revolution fear, right? There's no fucking revolution anymore. Everybody's afraid to speak. If your opinion disagrees with the popular one, you know what I mean? You're going to be shamed. So
Tyler Bertuzzi, perfect example. He was the only Red Wing that refused to get it, and
now he can't play in Canada.
Well, so 9 games, but all the comments on Reddit were like, "He's a fucking piece of shit. Trade him." But then on the YouTube videos, it was like, "Oh, good for him. Stick to your guns. Freedom, blah blah blah." Whatever. It's just like so crazy. You're like, wow, one platform's just lambasting the living fucking shit out of this guy. And
what it comes down to is anonymity. Like if people's faces aren't shown and you don't know who's talking, people are more apt to have an honest opinion.
For sure.
Keyboard warriors.
And I did that I remember in high school, I did a sociology project and things were a lot different back then. So I asked a lot of really controversial questions. And it was funny because there was like 10 of us in this class. And I had questions on the paper, like, do you believe in interracial relationships, gay marriage, things like that. And I said, don't worry, don't put your names on the paper. I just want honest answers.
Right.
And then I grabbed the papers and we all had a discussion. And everybody was all game and they loved everything, right? But you read those fucking papers, right? And there was some pretty fucked up answers on that.
Right.
Because there was no name on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you have people who want to be like that. Like, oh, pro-choice. And you're going to have the other guy going, this guy's a piece of shit. And as long as nobody's being seen, they're going to be honest. And that's unfortunate.
Right.
Because, whether you're right or wrong or whether people like you or they don't, you should be able to be who you are and feel who you are as long as you're not hurting anybody. Like, if you want to hate, just don't kill people.
Right. And it's funny you bring that up because I did something in college similar before medical marijuana was like an actual thing. And my professor actually pulled me aside because at the end of it, I did something sort of similar to you. And I was like, okay, if you could have this life-changing thing to like get rid of like your kids' like seizures, whatever, but it was like derived from marijuana, are you going to sit there on your high horse and be like, oh, it's so bad, And I didn't do the anonymous like write things down, but I just was like, hey, by a show of hands, has anything I brought up today swayed your opinion on marijuana? And like 3/4 of the class was like, wow, like we had no fucking idea, this and that. So I really like the fact that you were like, okay, let's leave it to anonymity to see how fucked up or how like smart these people actually are. So kudos to you for that.
Thanks, man. But it's just, the way I've always been. Like I'm a guy. I if you can change my mind and say something that'll make me think different, like I really kind of look for that. I want that to happen. I don't want to just think that everything I say is correct. Who wants to live like that, right? But, I just wish more people were not afraid to be unliked,
So is that kind of something that, getting into the music thing, is that something you try to do through your music? You as a singer, and I'm assuming the guy who writes all the lyrics, do you take, those, maybe what could sometimes be an unpopular stand and put that in your music? And if so, have you gotten, that lashback, whether it be in person or on social media, the keyboard warriors and all that, go into that.
My battles tend to come like after the music, you know what I mean? Because there's a time I used to love to provoke, but my lyrics, like you can pretty much tell what's going on in my life what's in the lyrics, right?
Right.
And the mood, the mood of the music, it tends to what gravitates me towards, what I'm feeling at that moment. But my lyrics are always just very straight ahead, and they're just matter of fact. So a song like "I Hate Your Face," it's pretty blatant.
I really don't know where he's going with this song. I'm kind of lost.
Him chatting his innuendos, But I just don't know how to be anything but myself or honest. So
in a song like a zombie, that we played right before this, I was in a band, the band that you, New Day Revolution, it was a very political band, and you kind of had, there was a lot of politicizing of lyrics and stuff like that. A song like a Zombie, listening to it, and thank God it was a lyric video, because it's usually really hard for me to decipher what lyrics are if I can't read them. And
Cookie Monster music.
It's like that song sounds like it has a little bit of a tinge of calling out the I guess zombies of the world, I guess you could say. What was the origin of that song in particular?
What's awesome about that song is, so basically the outline of that song, if you read the lyrics, it has a lot to do, with addiction, but also, just walking around without any knowledge, being ignorant. But the point is, like, when that song was written, I was walking through, so my daughter she's 13 now, but at the time she was about 8. And I had got her to watch The Walking Dead, and it scared the shit out of her because I'm a shitty dad like that. But
you're just preparing her for the eventual zombie apocalypse, bro.
The COVID apocalypse. So we were cutting through a cemetery, and she was only about 8 years old, and out of nowhere she just started going like a zombie, and I was like, wait a second, hold on, get over here. Right? And I said, "You want to write a song with
what
that?"
tuning is that in?
It's in standard drop D. E flat, then drop. But what's funny is, so I just kind of wrote around that. But so my daughter's got a writing credit for writing the chorus. Right?
That's awesome.
But she loves it now because she's 13, and I took a bit of a break from music for a little bit, so I didn't actually get to record that song until a couple of years ago, right? And then we put it out like this year, so.
She's really holding out for those residuals, though.
So am I.
College is hopefully one day college will be paid for from this song.
Yeah.
You're driving a Lambo. Yeah, my dad wrote the song. I got credited for it.
I wrote the whole chorus.
Throwing that positivity into the universe.
There you
go.
So you said you took a break, and you talked about your daughter and all of this. It's a thing that I see a lot with guys that play in bands, and eventually, life happens, you have kids, and adulting happens.
Pumping out mini-me's.
There's a lot of people that, once the kids thing happened, the party's over, they're like, okay, well, I can't do the band thing anymore. I'm done with this shit. And then there's.
That wasn't why I took a break.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I'm like, there's a lot of people, that when they have kids, they put a stop on it until they get old enough and they don't have to deal with like babies and crap anymore.
18
and they get
years
back
old,
into it.
boom, they're going.
I had to take a break because I went to rehab, so I had to get my shit together, right? So yeah, it was dirty, it was gross, but I pulled it back together, and that's the important part, right? But the lifestyle got to me, man, and I was living it. I wasn't making the money, but I sure as fuck was living it.
You probably were making money, but it just kind of probably fueled the habit.
Went on my nose, right?
Yeah,
I've been there.
The only crew had on me was the budget. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, so it was just time, and I always, was honest about music, but I was really doing it for the wrong reasons at that point.
I gotta imagine doing an outline of all of Canada has got to be pretty fucking tough.
Well, going into because I battled those same issues, in my 20s, and I didn't take the time off. I just kind of overdosed and I was done. That was pretty much the end of my game. But going back, you're in a band when you're younger. You're snorting Peru, you're doing your shit, and then you take a break to clean yourself up. For a lot of people that at least that I've talked to that tried to go back to music after having those kind of issues, it was a really hard thing for them to do, going back into that environment where before they were backstage, railing lines off strippers' asses or, just random trailer trash, and drinking too much or doing whatever
Downriver, baby,
doing whatever they're doing, and then going back into that environment, being clean, and in your case, you were talking about working out, and it seems health is a big thing for you.
It has to be, because without it, but like I was more concerned with my pen drying up. You know what I mean? Like I always wrote about what fucked me up and what I was fucked up about. And, a lot of that had to do with the way I thought and my wiring and things like that. So, when I was afraid I was going to clean up, and kind of be dry and not have, you know, the things that made me creative, I thought was what fucked me up.
It was
you
a
know,
crutch.
Yeah. And it was just another excuse, you know, because there's always excuses, right?
True.
You know, those who want to find a way, those who don't find an excuse, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, so.
What was it
that
like going
really-
back into that environment again after you cleaned up?
It was fucking terrifying, man, because like the thing was, my first bout of recovery, like I was a drug addict, so I drank. You know, drinking was still okay for me.
Yeah.
You know, so I talked myself into believing at that point. But it really, for me, I can't do one of anything. I can't even enjoy music in a healthy manner. I got to start a band and tour the fucking country. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
everything I do, I overdo because it's just the way I'm built. It's the way my brain works, you know? So yeah, but going back into it, I remember like being so afraid to get on that stage, you know, and, you know, just getting on there without doing a couple rails or many rails or, you know, 7 or 8, you know, shots, you know, just repeated abuse in every way. So first of all, walking into a bar was fucking terrifying. Like there was just, I didn't want to do it, but it was like, music is what always defined me. And it was, you know, everything I lived for, everything I worked for, everything I dreamed about. So I can't just not be that because there's no substances there. That doesn't make, you know, that if you can give up on your dream, then it probably wasn't for you anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and I just refused, and I had to. And I'm telling you, man, that first show, and fortunately I played it with the lineup I'm with now, because Valyear's gone through a few incarnations, right?
Mhm.
You know, because, you know, when you're being a degenerate, you tend to hang out with degenerates, right? So there was a lot of shitty people in and out of these doors that is now Valyear, right? And I'm fortunate right now because the lineup I have is the best lineup I've ever had. The guys in the band are my best friends. You know, I've known them all for years and years and years. And Nick's the guy, the drummer. I've only known him since he's been in the band, which is like, you know, three years and some. But Jeff, I've known for 15 years. Joe, I've known since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, Joe watched a few incarnations of this band, and he came right up to me after one of the shows. He's like, get rid of those guys, man. Like, we need to do this. So as soon as I got out of treatment, he was the first guy I called, and we put it back together. And then, you know, Jeff came back. Jeff's been in and out because, you know, his life thing kicks in, right? Like, none of these guys party like I party, right? So, and so, like, Jeff, you know, he would do his family thing, and then he'd come back for a bit, and then family would kick in, and he'd come back, and you know, but then once I got my shit together, it was a lot easier for these guys to commit, you know? You know, and I put a lot of strain on this, like, you know, even the band name, like, it's been the band name for what, 6-7 years, but it's only been this lineup for, you know, 3. Right. So there was some rebuilding.
That's a good run.
So I got a question for you. So Valyear blows up, gets huge record deal, touring, you know, North America, right? Yeah. Is there any part of you that's worried that if you get to that level that you're gonna be not even succumb, but just say you're rolling into Detroit, the fucking Fillmore, and there's a guy out back that's like, "Hey, bro, I got this blow."
Well,
like, you're riding high, sky's the limit. Is there any part of you that's actually worried, or
not a little bit? Because
awesome.
I've got a great cement, a great foundation. I've got and the guys in the band would not fucking accept that from me. They would kick me out of this band. It's called Valyear, but they would tell me to fuck off, and they should if I was ever to do that to them.
So is there, you know, like you mentioned before that, you know, you were worried about your pen drying up when you got sober. Yeah. Do you still play those old songs? You know, that you wrote while you were loaded, while you were in your worst phase of your life? And, you know, you said you play them, you know, does it take on a different meaning now, you know, playing those songs that
I gotta imagine that's pretty powerful.
Well, I imagine it's got to be pretty hard because it takes you back to a time in your life that you know, you're not living that life anymore, you know? So,
well, there's a couple like songs in particular that are really close to me that way. And one of them actually is called Hit the Ground. And if you get a chance to listen to it, like, pay attention to the lyrics, because I remember the one thing I always used to say when I was fucked up is just don't look down and you won't hit the ground. Right. So whenever I sing that song, it reminds me of
my 20s.
Yeah.
That was my 20s.
You know, but I mean, I'm so far removed from that person. And like I said, you know, Joe, Jeff, and Nick, they're solid guys and a big support system for me, you know, and this band wouldn't be what it is without them. And I couldn't do that to them again, you know, but no, it's, you know, some of those songs, see, when we put this album's been done for a long time, and we just put it out with Wormhole Death. We're actually recording a new album right now of all brand new stuff.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that's, you know, that's pretty, I'm more excited because like you said, these songs have been kicking around for a little while, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when Wormhole Death reached us, we had put out an EP, we called it the Fire EP. And it was just, we just kind of put it on Spotify and promoted it around and with our close friends and our close circle. We were just finishing up an EP called Dirty when we got the call. And we were just like, and they're like, when can you do an album for us? I'm like, why don't we just put this together and put it out while we record another one? At least then we can be promoting this while we're recording this, and we can keep things close together.
Mm-hmm.
So those songs, like you just said, like they're there, and at times they take me back. But, you know, we're so busy working on new stuff, you know, that eventually, I imagine, I mean, the shit's only getting better. So I imagine they'll be phased out at some point, you know.
You know, I wanted to at least, sorry, Rikki, I wanted to at least comment, you know, Rikki and I have been in lots and lots of bands. And over all these years, there's always that, like, one or maybe even two people in the band where they cause a problem, they cause a rift over a variety of things. But for you, you know, going through the addiction and recovery and everything, and then being in the band and then having them as that support system, that's got to be make things incredibly easier for you. And I gotta say that's probably one of the biggest blessings. Like, all of us ideally wish we could be in a band with like 3, 4, 5 like-minded individuals, but it just doesn't happen. But the fact that, you know, you have that support system around you is probably part of the reason why you guys are doing what you are doing. And, you know, kudos to you and the rest of the guys in the band for, you know, supporting you. That's awesome.
Well, thanks, man. And I mean, this band is so much bigger. Like, I mean, I started the band, and obviously it's my last name, right? And that was only for lack of band names and being in previous situations where every time a band member left, you had to worry about who did what. And my producer finally said to me, like, aren't you sick of losing your music every time somebody quits or leaves or you kick them out? And so when he suggested I call the band Valyear, I was like, fuck that. No way. I hate that shit when people do that. But fortunately, like I said, like, this band is bigger than me, and I, you know, not that I'm hoping for it or anything, but I could see this band carrying on without me. You know, like, everybody in this project is important.
Right.
Talk about fucking humble.
I know.
The band's named after you. Yeah, if, you know, they want to move on, they could do great without me. But it's funny, one of the projects I'm in, George and Need, like, we were like, what do we call the band? And I was like, let's just go with your name. Like, everyone knows you. We don't have to rebrand. Like, I was like, it's like Seal, bro. Like, you know, why fuck with something that you don't need to fix? You know what I mean?
I like how you always go to Seal.
But no, the fact that you said, even if they were to go on without me, even though the band's named after you, that's all that needs to be said. Like, you're 100% for the fucking music. It doesn't matter what the fucking name is. It just so happens to be your name.
Well, we've talked about it because, like, I remember when we did the video for Beneath the Machine, and there was a COVID scare, so Joe couldn't be in the video, right? And Joe was the first guy, and the guy that was in the video with us is a really close friend of mine, actually one of my biggest friends in recovery. He was in the video with us, and he, you know, and Joe was the guy who made the call, you know, and I felt the same way. Like, if a gig came up, and say I blew my voice out, you know, I would not expect those guys to not do that show. And I would almost be offended if they didn't.
Right.
If a guy could step in and fill in, because it's like I said, I'm not the only person responsible for what's happening with us. Right. So how could I be so arrogant as to believe it couldn't go on without me?
I think it's a little bit different as a front person. I don't want it to. Well, right. Like, and the fact that you're saying that, I mean, speaks volumes.
I think I lost you guys.
Can you hear me? Uh-oh.
I lost you guys again.
Damn it, Rikki. What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Fucking Zoom.
It's the weirdest little freeze frame.
Wasn't me.
Oh, there. Back. Okay.
You hear us?
All right,
can hear you.
I
Okay,
see.
cool.
I see him moving.
So you know, it's crazy though, because like at the end of the day, like the vocalist, right, front person, kind of a big deal.
The
you know?
band's named after you.
Right. So the fact that you're like, oh yeah, if you guys want to do it without me, whatever, like that's crazy, because like as a drummer, right, like even when I had some hip issues that I was dealing with, I was like, all right, we've got a bunch of shows, we're auditioning drummers to like fill in because I might need surgery. Like I did that, you know, then like for me that was a tough thing to do, but like as the front person, the face, the name of the band, like that's just on a whole nother level of like, dude, this guy cares that much where he's like, carry on without me, bros. Like that's like some going to war kind of shit.
I was about to say this is like some Saving Private Ryan kind of shit going on here.
D-Day, like just carry on without me, bros.
Just keep going, leave me behind.
But I mean, that's super genuine and cool.
My worst, right? Like when I was at my worst, and they don't let me get back to my worst. So why would I ever dream of fucking letting that? Yeah.
Right. So we did have a question in the chat from John Hofstra. Did the new video shoot happen yet?
Not yet. We're actually doing a video next weekend, Saturday. Anybody, in Oshawa, Ontario, it's going to be at Donovan Recreation Park. We need the crowd. There's going to be skaters, BMXers at the skate park.
Nice.
We're doing live. We'll be there set up. We're doing the video. The same guy that did Beneath the Machine. If you get a chance and you get it working, it's actually a really cool video, and we were really proud of it. And the guy who did it's name is Tim Lopers, and he's fantastic, and he's such an easy dude to work with. And he just brought that, like when you see that video, like you guys were talking about political, we were talking political and stuff.
Yeah.
And we're saying politics, you're either part of the problem or part of the solution. And I'm definitely part of the problem. Right. So that was the closest thing to like hardcore politics that I got into. And it was just my take on, being, a cog, and,
right.
But the video shoot, we're doing it for Fall Too Far. And that's very, I love that tune for one. I fucking love playing that song live. And it's just got that driving, like you want to be in a car fucking speeding, right? Like,
those are my favorite ones.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's why I drive
one
manuals.
of my favorite things about that song is the lead, like Jeff's lead in that song. It's just like and I'm just like, fuck yeah. Like, old school fucking, because I love old school. Like I'm checking out Rikki's shirt, the LA Gun shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
and
man.
I'm digging that shit because I grew up on that fucking stuff, man. And I love it.
Hence
like,
all the
for me,
drugs.
it was like all long hair, leather pants, sweat.
Yeah.
Oh, right?
Man.
The party lifestyle.
I like Chad. He's a nice guy. He likes LA Guns.
He might clean you up, Rikki.
Yeah, he might. No, I don't know.
Watch, you guys are going to be hanging out after a show, and Rikki's going to be like, all right, let's do some shots. He's going to be like, I'm going to give you some water, sir. We're going to get you back to a good place.
I'll talk about my stock portfolio.
Right.
So, once everything starts opening up again, and, those borders start opening up, is going out on the road, something you guys want to do? You got the kids, you got the fam. I'm sure the rest of the guys have, their adulting.
Everybody's got, the only guy who's not really tied down is Nick, right? Nick's actually a lot younger than us. Like Nick's in his early 20s, right?
Oh, must be nice.
So, yeah. Oh, trust me. I envy the kid, right? But he's wise beyond his years in his playing, right? And you can hear that, like you can hear it. But but we all have families, and Jeff and Joe have kids that live at home. So they're a little more restricted than like I just live with my wife. My daughter lives with her mom, and so like, but I mean, if the opportunity arose and it was worth it, I'm sure we'd work something out.
Like even doing like playing like I'm gonna try naming some Ontario cities. Doing like Oshawa,
Hamilton,
Toronto, going
Hamilton,
to
like,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Kitchener,
Yeah, we do shit like that often. Like, when things were rolling.
It's like weekend warriors.
Yeah, I mean, and just because I still have to maintain a 9 to 5, right?
Right.
Like, actually, it's a 9 to 6, and it's 6 days a week, right? So,
right.
But yeah, but like we just love playing, and we do it as often as we can, and we do little treks like that. It's not out of the question, right? It's just like going off for a month. I don't see that happening in the next week or anything like that.
Right.
The money would have to be there for us to not be able to go to work.
So when you guys, you guys do go off to Kitchener or Hamilton or something like that, what's the response like? Because, you know, a band, you know, when you're kind of just circling your hometown and kind of playing the venues, you know, within an hour of your house, you know, you have your fan base, you know,
your friend base,
your friend base, you know.
What we try to do is we try to stay connected. Like, we have a lot of friends that are in bands, right?
Yeah.
So, and we stay connected, and, you know, I take a lot of pride in being that band that's really fucking easy to work with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I don't care when we go on. I don't care, you know, I just want to cut to the door, you know, like, I'm good with playing because I just love it so much. And I don't, you know, so we try to stay connected with our friends when we play. So, you know, we tend to get really good slots. So we've never played, like, you know, I think it's very rare that we don't have a decent turnout, you know, and when we do, we still play like it's full, you know, because to us it is. Excuse my voice. We had a rehearsal today, and I really fucking gave it, so I'm blowing out even talking, right?
No, you're good.
No,
you're sounding just a tad rough.
I'm used to talking to singers who are like, ah, man.
Dude, man, all these years of fucking partying, bro.
Oh, yeah, we talk to singers that are huffing cigarettes and like, I don't know why my voice is all fucked up. I'm like,
the
well,
only drug I never did in my life was smoke cigarettes. Can you believe that shit?
Jesus.
Jeez.
How did you enjoy being that fucked up?
Jesus.
Well, my buddy was just telling a story the other day, and it was like he was laughing because he was sitting there. We were all fucked up one time, and he says something like, "You don't even smoke cigarettes." Like, 'cause I save my money for the good stuff.
Good point.
Touche. Yeah, because aren't cigarettes out there like $11, $12 a pack?
Something like that. My wife smokes. I think she pays like $13 or $14 a pack.
Is that Canadian?
So that's only like
yeah.
six. Oh wait, the Canadian dollar I think is worth like double ours right now.
I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. I know, even like transfer, because our label's in euros, right? So if we have to do money exchange,
Oh,
it's always
shit.
fucked up, right? Euros is like double what we
Just
have
pay
right
them
now.
in crypto, bro.
So
Easy
you know,
peasy.
You know, talk about that, because I think that's probably where I found out about you guys was Wormhole Death. You know, they send me a truckload of stuff, and it's usually the kind of stuff,
or the operatic, right?
Yeah, or
So
like
they have opera and Cookie Monster? Damn, they're diversified.
the
Shit.
operatic death metal.
And they have us.
And that was what I was going to
You guys pull it all together.
That was what I was going to say. You know, it's like I'll listen. I'm like, God, this band sucks. This band sucks. I'm like, and then I came across you guys. I'm like, oh shit, somebody can actually sing and actually well versed songs and shit like this. How'd you get hooked up with those guys?
Well, it was weird because a guy just messaged me out of the blue, and I imagine, you know, in the big picture, he was probably a scout for them, but he played off to me like he was just buddies with Carlo, the guy who runs the label, right? Mm-hmm. And he said, my friend Carlo would just love to hear your stuff, but I sent it to him anyway because I just want everybody to hear it. So I didn't care if it amounted to anything or it didn't. And when I heard the other bands on Wormhole Death, and then I talked to the guys about it, it was like, we're the only band that sounds like us on that label. So if anything, either the really diehard Wormhole Death fans are going to be like, fuck these guys, or they're going to be like you did, you know, and just even this is worth it to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, somebody new heard my shit and wants to talk to me about it. That's fucking fantastic. Right. So when I talked to Carlo, the cool thing was there wasn't any like, schmoozing or not schmoozing, wooing. They weren't trying to like win us over.
Right.
It was just, this is how it goes. This is what we're doing. We think you guys are great. We want to work with you. Are you guys interested? And it went back and forth a little bit, and it was like, yeah, fuck it, man. Like, this is a great opportunity for us, and it works within our confines, right? And you know, they've done more than their part. Like, I mean, right now we can't keep up with the press, you know, and it's great. You know, and
tell them to hit up Casting
Shadows.
Shadows.
I turn around, we're in a magazine or your site, and like all, you know, I got a buddy, he's you know, he's from Argentina, and I have to give him all the Spanish articles and like the Portuguese articles because he can read both languages, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are they saying about us? Are they saying we suck?
You need a fucking translator? Goddamn.
You know what I mean? So yeah,
we need to get on their level.
Well, exactly. But like, yeah, so it just worked out really good, and you know, I can't wait. I'm more excited about getting this next thing done because I've sat with this other shit for so long, and the people closest to us know it so well. I think they're probably like waiting for something new as well. And, you know, we're just in the middle of promoting it as it's new, you know?
Right.
So Yeah, so I think it's a little, the new stuff's a little heavier, but not Cookie Monster heavy. But we dropped things down a little bit and just brought it a little closer to like, just something a little edgier. But with some of the parts that are melodic are even more melodic,
Okay.
and the heavy stuff is heavier. So it's like we dropped. There's one tune in particular, man, that I'm so fucking stoked about. It's called Human God, and I'm so excited to. I hope that's our first single. I really do, because it's fucking dope. It's such a good song,
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've heard someone like this animated and excited about their music,
Right.
let alone new music. Because like most of the time, it's like, oh yeah, like we're really stoked, but like you could hear it in your voice and you can see it on the fucking camera. Like you were so fucking geeked. And that's usually a very, very good sign. When that artist is that fucking geeked, that means they put their heart, their soul, every fucking thing.
I usually
into it.
don't see people that geeked unless they're like 16 and it's their first album they've ever done.
Right.
You
I'll
know,
always be 16 when it comes to
this guy's just like,
let's be
whoa.
honest though, like after years and years of doing it, it's one of those things where deep down inside you're geeked, but you're like kind of like, let's see what the fans think. And then when they're all geeked, you're like, yeah, I knew that shit was a banger. And it's like deep down inside, you're like shitting your fucking pants, like everyone's gonna hate this. Oh fuck.
I really got over the whole, like, to me, I really had struggled with no beginning and no end. And that's where I'm at right now. Like right now, it's just about creation. You know what I mean? Like whatever, like I realize I'm not really in control of anything. So I just write in hopes that, when I get psyched about it, it's a good thing because I'm good enough. Like I can separate myself enough to actually look at my shit objectively. And that's why we have a producer.
Mhm.
I do not want to get too close to my shit because as soon as you see a band that's self-produced, that shit's going to be fucking half-assed. Like
Yeah.
any band, look, when you think about someone like Pantera,
Yeah.
fucking, and you can't talk shit about Pantera. You just can't. Not me anyway, right?
Okay.
But think about the last album they did.
Yeah.
And it was half self-produced. And I think it's the worst album they did, personally. Reinventing the Steel. It didn't stand out to me. Right. And then you look and it was co-produced by the band. And it was like, yeah, that makes sense. Right.
Right.
Because Terry Day wasn't there going, okay, fuck that. And I need somebody to put me outside of my box and push me to do other things because I'll get very comfortable, and I'll do it. I'll just be like, no, this works. And I'm fortunate because our producer, Sean Gregory, he pulls me right out of that shit. And he does it with the guys too. Like there's no getting lazy in there and there's no settling for, and you can hear it. And I don't mean that like an asshole. I just mean like, you can hear it in the writing. Like we make sure there's hooks. We make sure that at points you're at least singing or moving your head, So,
I agree with literally a lot of what you're saying just because like when a band writes a song, like there are usually members of the band that think like a little more outside the box of like, okay, is this going to make sense on a recording? Are these parts going to line up? But having that third party, the unbiased opinion, and Shudder specifically had that when we recorded with Mick. We weren't paying him to be a producer, but when we were recording with him, he was like, hey, like right before the end of that fucking that breakdown, before you go into the chorus, like why don't you guys do this stop instead of doing what you're doing? And we were
something
like,
as simple as a turnaround,
yeah,
or, do, like,
yeah. So he was like, let's record it, play it back, see how it sounds. Literally fucking recorded it as I like was doing the cymbal choke at the end of it. In my head, I was like, oh, that's the fucking shit right there.
Right.
And then he played it.
Cool
Dude. And then he played it back and we were like, this is like what the song was missing. Just that little tiny piece. And that's something a lot of musicians I've talked to have struggled with is like, do we pay to go with a producer or do we just go in there and work with a button pusher? And I kind of wanted to get your take on that. Just elaborate a little bit more on why you think like working with a producer. I know you kind of dove into it a little bit, but like what are the other things that you like about working with a producer over just a button pusher?
Because I've heard our pre-pro, right? And our pre-pro, don't get me wrong, like, we do pretty good pre-pro. But when I hear our pre-pro compared to what is the finished product, I know fucking goddamn well why we have a producer.
There it is.
And for all you noobs in the chat, pre-pro is pre-production.
Yeah,
Which
pre-production.
nobody ever does. Nobody ever does
like,
pre-production.
And fortunately we have like, I'm not tech savvy. I don't have any software on my computer to record. I don't know anything about that stuff. I'm horrible with it. No matter how much somebody tries to show me, I'm not built like that. I meant to step up to a microphone and scream and sing, and that's what I do, right?
Yeah.
But Jeff and Joe,
You know your role.
yeah, and I'm okay with it. Lead me in the right direction and push play, and I'll fucking go, right?
Now, the
Right.
real question is, can you turn left?
But Joe and Jeff both have studios, so it makes things easy. So they'll bounce some things back and forth. But back to being humble, like we're a band where we're not afraid to tell each other if something sucks. You know what I mean? And we don't candy coat it. We're good enough friends that, we know we're not being assholes.
Right.
But we also know when we listen to this, if we weren't in this band, if I was not in this band, I would not fucking dream of listening to that. There's no way.
That's a good way to look at it.
And it's cool because especially with Joe and Jeff, like they write most of the music together. You know what I mean? And, Jeff will come up with riffs and but Jeff's like, he'll come up with like fucking 20, 30 songs, and we'll use like 2 or 3 of them, and then he'll give us another 20, 30 and we'll use 2 or 3 of them. And then
God, I wish I had that problem.
Joe sits and writes and he'll write a song and we'll use it. He'll write a song and we'll use it, right? Because he's just got that thing where he knows how to put everything exactly the way it's supposed to go. But they do it off each other, so when Jeff, they'll throw something back and forth and they'll add their own shit to it. And because Joe, he plays bass, but he's also a very well-rounded guitar player as well. And when you're a guitar player, you kind of get the gist of bass for the most part. So between the two of them, man, like that's how, and being able to go like, no, man, that's not working or that's not jiving. I just have so much respect for 2 guys who can work like that.
Oh yeah.
And
Bass players that actually do shit. Crazy. Bass players actually do things.
This sucks, okay, I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I love that because I need that. I don't want to be that fucking idiot on American Idol that thinks he's awesome.
Hey, William Hung made a lot of money.
Hey, that's got to be a drop. I don't want to be that idiot on American Idol. That sucks.
So it's like I want to be told when it's not working, and I'm fucking okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, like I think we've all kind of been there, but it takes that camaraderie and almost like that friendship to just be like, yeah, dude, not feeling that, and they're not going to be like, oh, well, what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well then, yeah, you're in the wrong business, you know what I'm saying? Like, or you just end up in a shitty band, right? And
Story of my
talking
life.
earlier, and it cracks me up because it's like, when you were talking about making a YouTube video, it's like, then fucking get better and fucking post another one.
I mean, like,
Story of my life, man.
It's one of those things, though, when you go through it so many times and you see the things that work and don't work, like, it's not that we're saying, hey, this is the right way to do it, because, like, the nuts and bolts, for instance, that dude could be, like, a child fucking prodigy and be amazing. But, like, if you don't try and you don't, like, look at it, like, analyze it yourself, right? I remember when I joined Shudder, I took some fucking videos on my shitty-ass camera phone, and I posted them. No click track. It was in my parents' basement. I saw that shit
on
like
MySpace.
No, I saw that shit like 8 years later. I hid those fucking videos, dude. I was embarrassed by them. But
I've recently taken some down as well from old Valyear days because it's like I'm not proud of them, and if I'm not proud of it, I have to explain why it sounds like shit. It shouldn't be. It was bad. I couldn't hear myself in the mind. It's like, no, fuck it, take it down.
Well,
like,
where I was going was. It wasn't that bad, like, from a technical standpoint. It was actually decent, because, like, that drumming on that shit was actually really, really fucking hard. But it was really, it almost grounded me a little bit to go, okay, 10 years ago, this is where I was at. And it wasn't that bad.
And now you're a fucking rock god playing festivals all over the Midwest.
I wouldn't go that far. But, no, like, I am incredibly happy with where I've gotten. You know what I mean? It's kind of nice to see that progression and go, hey, 10 years ago, this is like even you with, the rehab and the drugs and stuff. I'm sure you kind of look back, especially listening to some of those songs, go, hey, X number of years ago, fuck, I was doing Peru. Now I'm fucking writing these bangers and like I'm in a happy, healthy relationship and enjoying life. Sometimes that's needed. And, like it's tough to delegate that or like get that across to like a newer musician because they haven't gone through all the ups and downs and the roller coasters that it is being a musician and or a rock star. So yeah, it's quite the fucking it's quite the mind fuck. That's where I'll leave it.
And the other thing too is it's like, who do you surround yourself with, right? Like when I was first, on the scene, we were looking up to the guys, these guys that were going to be huge, and this guy was going to be huge, and that guy was going to be huge, and and we purposely, as we, we're getting better, pulled ourselves back from the clique. Because we, I watch people, and I'm not going to get into specifics and names, obviously, because I'm not stupid. but
right.
I watched, bands talk shit about other bands and people talking shit about each other, and I was never good with that stuff, right? And it's like, and then you see them now, and now that everybody's kind of on the same playing field, you're seeing them high-fiving each other and pulling each other on stage, and it's like, it's really sad that it took, for us all to be moderately successful,
right?
To be kind, and it's like, why couldn't you be happy for them when they were succeeding back then?
Right.
Why did it take for them to not make it big for you to realize your own worth? Like that's
it's that fake rock star mentality, and that's the thing we've talked about on this show at nauseum about, hustling, here, the Metro Detroit scene, and having, playing a show with a killer band and be like, dude, great show. And then you find out later that guy was talking shit about you and back, and dude, this guy's a fucking joke. Don't support his band. This, and this. Why is Rikki wear makeup? Yada, yada, yada. I've gotten it for 20 years,
The one thing I can say though, is that we did carve out that niche of like a good group of people that all supported each other. And like, we did that for years. And the cool thing is we all feel like we were a part of Ava's success with them touring.
Ava Under Fire. Yeah.
And like, if you haven't checked them out, check out Ava Under Fire. They're huge friends of ours. Like we played shows with them on Thursdays, Fridays with like 10 fucking people. But we had
now they're going on tour with Skeleton Theory of a Dead Man.
Yeah, and like that's like one of the things though to me that's like one of the coolest things about being involved in our music scene here was that we all played those shitty ass shows. We all had a blast with each other. And one of those bands made it out, and like we're still good friends with them. They still, talk with us. They hit us up all the time. And like to me, that's like one of the coolest things about music is just like the relationships aside from the music and putting out content, right? The personal relationships and just like all that, it kind of almost goes further than the music, but you can't like replicate or replace that. It's like just one of those things that's crazy.
Well, I learned the hard way because there was one band in particular, and we did a lot of touring with these guys, and I really thought that we were a really close group of guys, and we did some showcases together, and we played together, and I found out later on, as I'm, anytime any opportunity I had, I was pumping these guys, like, you got to check these guys out. They're like my bros. These guys are fucking wicked. And then to find out, like, there was just this jealousy thing that didn't need to be had because they were as good, if not better than us. And if you want to like compare, which I don't compare, but they were doing their thing just as good. So to me, I was never threatened. I was just like, fucking cool. We're in this together. And then to find out, that they were talking a lot of shit later,
What band was this?
Really like, what's that?
What band was that?
Well, I'll tell you after. We'll turn off the camera, right? But the thing was, it just really sucked because I don't give a fuck about, whether I succeed or they succeed. What I cared about was that I treated them like brothers and they treated me like a sister.
Right. No, for sure. And like, that's a super fucked up thing to do. I mean, I think we've all kind of been there though. Like, when you promote that national show, right? And I'm not expecting the national to like come out and like suck our fucking dicks, but it's super disrespectful when you sell 80, 90 fucking tickets. You sell 80, 90 fucking tickets and that band can't even like watch one of your songs. Like, I feel like that is their due diligence. They could at least walk out and be like, hey bro, I caught 30 seconds of your first song and then I went back to my trailer and got fucking lambasted drunk, whatever. But like, yeah, I don't know. You could go on for hours and hours about that. But
sure.
no, I hear you.
Like, I want to come at things like, and I mean, I just have to live in truth, period, right? It's just part of my whole thing. But it's like, I'm not like, I don't have to tell a band they suck if I don't like them.
Right.
But I sure as fuck don't have to, humor it. Like, I don't have to be mean, and I don't have to fucking, like, I can totally avoid the topic,
Right.
But I'm just not going to treat somebody as though they're my best friend if they're not,
Right.
and I just don't get that sort of mentality. I've just never been about that. Right. So fuck those guys.
Right.
You gotta let me know. You gotta let me know who this band is. Hit me up on Facebook and let me know.
Watch, it's one of your 82 bands, Rikki.
I know.
That one time you were in Canada.
Yeah.
So reach out to you, tell them to fuck off.
So we're at 9 o'clock. I got one more question for you guys. You're talking about the new record.
Yes.
It's gonna be harder. It's clean, Chad. Different direction. It's not talking about getting fucked up and shit anymore. You're making that move. What's your plan with this? Are you gonna throw the record out, see how it goes, or are you gonna, take some time before it's released to, do music videos for it, plan out a plan of attack,
Marketing
I'd like
campaign.
to have a video done for a single while we release the album, right?
Okay.
And while we're kind of promoting that, have another one out. It's a lot about money. I want to see how that's flying then. I mean, we have a lot of time to prepare. We're looking at, I'm trying to put a time frame on it. Like, we're looking at probably summer.
Okay, so you guys got plenty of time.
A few months, yeah. And I'm saying summer because I just don't want to fucking put an unrealistic expectation. I mean, I hope sooner, but I'm gonna say summer, right? Because, like I said, we're in the midst of it now, and it's just coming out so well, and I just want it to be, because I mean, who knows? It's I can't, I can never tell what's going to happen in this fucked up, crazy world we're in right now. So I have to approach this like it could be the last one.
Right.
So here's what you do. Come over to the States. Your money's worth double. Get a really good producer, really good shit. And there you go. Money, baby.
I'm in.
All right, so you're thinking summer for this new record. Are you doing like an EP, like 3 or 4 songs? You going full album, like 8 or 9 songs?
I'm gonna do like probably 10 songs.
Okay. 10 songs. Summer Valyear video. You're working on it right now. And
Fall too far.
Okay, and so when you think you're gonna drop that first single for the album?
Oh yeah, well, like I said, I want the album done first, so let's get
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah,
So basically what you're saying is Roxx 100 is going to debut the video once it's done,
You
right?
should.
You know what? I will give you guys that. My word right now. I'll let you guys have it first.
There
Well,
it is.
We're breaking down walls over here.
All right.
It'll get leaked.
Oh,
To
we're
where-
gonna leak it.
Yeah, we're going to
first.
leak it. Oh, that'll be even better.
That's even better. We're leaking
Like,
the
yeah,
song.
these motherfuckers up to our north are sipping on maple syrup. We're breaking this shit.
It's in my cup right now. The maple syrup. Back bacon.
All right, so we're at 9, and Kevin, did you have any last questions to throw at Chad?
No, man. All I wanted to say was phenomenal interview.
Thanks, man.
Super stoked for your sobriety. Everything you guys are doing. Dude,
As we're drinking beer and I'm huffing this vape
dude,
pen.
we just
great
played,
for sobriety.
Hold on, we just played a
You're
benefit
the
show.
poster children for why I got clean.
Yeah, yeah.
We're that big of a mess, fuck. No, no, you sound like you're on the right path. Like I can hear and see the enthusiasm,
The passion.
and the passion, and like sometimes we've interviewed enough bands where it's just like, yikes, this is a very monotone interview. But no, like, dude, I love the music, love the tenacity. Everything you're saying speaks volumes to me because we've all been and gone through the same shit. And it's one of those things where I'm like, this is a dude that I could call a brother, just like based on everything you've said, the ups and downs. It's a music brotherhood, you know what I mean? And I'm glad we got to interview you. I love the music, and I'm stoked to see what you guys come out with.
I want to, yeah, man, add me on everything, please. I'd like to get to know you guys a lot better.
Fuck yeah.
All right, we're already friends on Facebook. You're gonna tell me that band that shit talked to you, and I'm gonna
Rikki's gonna go on a diatribe because he don't work no mo.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw some shade their way, see what the heck happens. You know, maybe I'll interview them and be like, oh man, this is what I want to do.
You know that fucking dude, CHAD VALYEAR? He was talking mad shit, bro.
No, this is what I'm gonna do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna find out what that band is, bring them on the show, and be like, dude, there's this band that was talking, you know, awesome about you.
They were like sucking your dick.
You know, tell me what you think of Valyear. You know, an awesome band out of Toronto, and just to see what they say, see if they're shitheads about it. That's kind of what I want to do because I like to stir the pot a little bit.
Stir the pot?
Yeah.
You throw fucking dynamite in the pot, Rikki. Get out of here. Stir the pot.
So, Chad, last thing before we let you go, is there anything that we missed, you know, during this whole interview, this whole talk that you want to throw out there? Shout outs, you know, this is the part of the interview where it's like, throw out your social media.
Yeah, and if you want to do a drop for us too, that'd be cool. Because we need to up our game on the drops.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just CHAD VALYEAR on Facebook. Also VALYEAR, that's our Facebook page. Twitter's VALYEAR, Instagram's VALYEAR. You know,
you're making it very easy.
Yeah, just write down the fucking name, man.
All right, so Kev wants the drop. So if you can do something like, hey, this is CHAD VALYEAR. You're listening to The Rikki Roxx Show on Roxx100.com.
Okay, I'm going to try not to fuck this up, all right?
It happens. Don't feel bad.
All right, this is CHAD VALYEAR from VALYEAR. You're watching The Rikki Roxx Show on Roxx 100.
That works.
Boom.
I'll take it.
Dynamite.
All right, Chad, we'll talk to you soon. Send me info on that band that shit talks and let me take care of the rest. And when you get that video done, send it our way. We'd love to play it on here. And when you guys got that new album coming out and you want to promote that again, hit me up and we'll get you back on here, bro.
Yeah, brother. Thanks so much, man. You guys are fucking awesome.
Take it easy, dude.
Take it easy.
There you have it, folks. Our neighbors to the north.
That was, let me switch back over to this and move your camera up. That was CHAD VALYEAR from the band VALYEAR out of Toronto,
That was one
Ontario.
of my more favorite interviews. Like
his excitement was just like crazy.
No, I dig it.
Yeah,
man.
it was super cool. So what were some cool things you pulled out of that one?
Oh, man. I mean, just like the whole story, right? Like, he had no shame in admitting being a drug addict. Kind of almost embraced it a little bit.
See, this
is like, some people are ashamed of it. And he's like, no, dude, I was doing fucking Peru. I was a piece of shit. I was doing this, and that. And I got my mind out of the gutter and fucking got clean and focused on the band. Like,
this is the one thing I don't like when I talk.
We didn't ask about poutine.
Oh, damn it, Kevin. This is the one thing this is the one weird thing. Whenever we talk to anybody that's like, oh man, you know, I used to be snorting Peru, you know, it was like Scarface, like crazy. And now I'm sober, I'm healthy. And I'm like, all right. As I'm drinking my beer and huffing my vape pen and like a fucking debaucherous douche. And I'm like, man, I feel like a shithead now. The whole time I'm like, do I take a drink or do I just put it down? And I'm looking over here, I'm like, oh, there's still some Jack Daniels in here.
I feel like anybody that's like level-headed enough, especially like musicians that are clean, like kind of get that's the lay of the land. Like, even if like we weren't actually drinking more than one beer, but we had a beer of the week segment, for them to be like, oh, get away. Like,
yeah.
But if you're into that, get away, we'll get away. It is what it is.
So we're going to get out of here. Kev has to go to work. I know we're 10 minutes over. Thank you, Kevin, for staying overtime.
I know such a pain in the ass.
I know it was coming up to 9. I'm like, ooh, we still got to wrap this thing up.
I'll just blame it on Canada, like South Park. Blame Canada. We love you, Chad. Awesome interview.
So super cool. It sucks that other music video didn't work because I was going to play that.
Why don't we just share it on the Facebook page?
We will. We'll share it on the Facebook page. So I was like looking and I'm trying to figure out songs to play. So I'm just going to play some Fallen Stronger and some Nagazi to get out of here. Because I think Nagazi would be a good band if VALYEAR ever came over to Michigan to have them play with. You know, my head automatically goes to, ooh, if they came here, this is a band I'd want to book them with. And I think Fallen Stronger would be another good band to pair with those guys. And Fallen Stronger will be playing October 2nd October 2nd at Bacchus Social Club in Marlette. The Bacchus Backwoods Birthday Bash. Roxx 100 is sponsoring that. Spiral Crush, Levi Moore, Possum Belly, Fallen Stronger, Forge of Sun, M102, Manic Impulse, Hall and Ellis, Origami Phase, BYOB, Camping Bonfire, and Bloody Mary Sunday on Bloody Monday Sunday Breakfast, $20.
You were way off. Bloody Mary Sunday.
Well, it's a thing.
Yeah.
So, gonna get out of here. Next week on the show, we're gonna be talking to Andy Hutt from Zero King out of Charleston, West Virginia.
Stoked for that interview.
You've done some shows or a show or
We played with him at least twice.
Okay, when you were in
Because we
Harlow.
were on stage with him both times.
Okay, when you were in Harlow.
Yep.
And Harlow playing on what date? Jesus Christ.
All I know is
Kevin
it's a
can't-
Sunday.
Kevin can't keep track
I've got
of all his
3
bands.
bands to keep in mind. Sunday, October 10th.
Sunday, October 10th at the Token Lounge for another Radio Networks show.
Which Rikki will not say. Ave Adio Ass.
Okay. So
There you have it, folks.
So we're going to get out of here. We're going to play some Fallen Stronger RPM and Nagazi Headless. Getting out of here. Like I said, Andy Hutt next week. Zero King out of Charleston, West Virginia. October 17th, we're going to be talking Dakota Star from Black Swan Dive Bomb for episode number 120. And we're going to have a new Pump It or Dump It next week. It's going to be great. New beer of the week, new everything, same bullshit.
No jalapenos.
No jalapenos. Fuck that shit. So we're going to get out of here. And Kev, have fun at work. I'm going to be doing absolutely nothing tomorrow.
Gonna get tanked.
I got a new... Talking about sobriety.
Oh,
that ain't
Chad, this is the real Rikki Roxx right here.
That ain't Rikki Roxx.
Maybe Skype him later. Talk him into sobriety.
I'm going to be going to AA in a couple weeks. Chad's going to talk me into AA.
Right?
I'm going to find God.
The Rikki Roxx God.
He's at the bottom of this bottle somewhere, I swear. All right, we're getting out of here. This is getting ridiculous.
Take it easy, guys.
Take it easy. This has been episode number 117 of The Rikki Roxx Show right here on Roxx100.com and YouTube Live.
Ass, cash, or grass, 'cause no motherfucker rides for free. Wanna take a drive down a 2-lane highway, pedal to the floor, yes, and sideways. I'll for tires off the ground, shift it up a gear, lay the hammer down. Ooh, she's a mean machine, 700 horsepower, you know what I mean. I get off on the pass track, like 2 3, I ain't looking back. Light 'em up, let's go, let's go.
Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. It's Rikki Roxx, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Rikki Roxx show, spreading like the pox. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks. Rikki rocks, Rikki rocks, yeah.
Rikki rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
Hey, this is Rikki Roxx, and you are listening to Roxx100.com.